make it a brighter place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line.
Hi everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings. Welcome to Memory Keeping Friday, and I'm really excited to share with you guys my plan for 2016. Now, over on my coordinating blog post, which you can get to right here, you're going to find not only photos of what I'm going to show you here, just in case you want to pin them to Pinterest or keep them for, just later to refer back to them, but I'm also going to share with you 3 other posts from people that I really admire in this industry, in the scrapbooking industry or memory keeping, who are doing this, who shared their plan for 2016 that I really found inspiration from, and even some things that I found helpful. One of those people is, of course, Becky Higgins. I loved her plan for 2016. You guys know I adore her. So you can get to that by just clicking right up here. That'll take you to the coordinating blog post, or you can click down in the YouTube description. That will take you there as well. So let's talk about what my plan is for 2016 and some of the things that I'm using for my Project Life album. The first thing that I'm using is, of course, the Ultimate Guide. Now, very quickly, I just want to share with you guys, I had one of my viewers from YouTube reach out to me and let me know that down here it says updated January 2015. That's actually a typo. It was actually updated as of 2016. I just was working on this in December and my brain just had not switched to 2016 yet. So you can just cross that off and make a note if you feel it necessary. And then the other thing is that she had just let me know that there were some typos within this document. Now, here's the deal, you guys. I have an editor that looks over all of my stuff before I put it out to you guys, especially these guides, because I obviously want them to be correct and good for you guys. And, I don't want to offend anybody with mistakes or anything like that. So the very last edit that happened, I was really pushing to get this out to you guys by the end of December. And what happened is she gave it to me with some edits. I made those and then I just sent it out to you guys. And so because of that, some things fell through the cracks. So here's the deal. I am updating it. It's being looked over again, but I don't want you guys to have to reprint this whole thing because it's a lot of ink. And I totally get that. So if you just want to cross out the mistakes and fix them, or if you just don't want to worry about it, that's great. I totally understand. If you want to reprint it and you want a more perfect copy of it, then that will be out soon. I will let you guys know, hey, the updated version is on my website. And then, of course, it still works, you guys. There's nothing so major that you're not going to get the idea or understand how to use it. And I will put a card right up here that talks more about my Ultimate Guide. If you're like, what are you talking about? What is that? I have no idea. So, with that said, I am using my Ultimate Guide this year. I'm using it not only for the photo ideas, which are right here. I've already gotten several of these photos. I look at this list and I don't necessarily follow it 1 through 31. I really look at it and just get some ideas, especially when I'm struggling to find some new photos or just new thoughts on taking photos, new perspective. So I'm doing that, and then I'm also using this right here. So I printed this out separate. I believe this is page 10, and I just printed that out and then I'm using it. So I'm keeping a running list of my photos just as a way to organize them in my head. And so it's not necessarily every single photo or every time I take a photo I write it down, but I do just keep this in my planner and then I can jot down the photos that I'm taking, especially right now where I have photos from October, November, and December, and then I'm now working on January. So I just got my photos printed, and I got about 200 photos printed, and that will wrap up last year's album and it will start this year's album. So the other thing that I'm using is this, which this is a planner page for Design A, and this is going to be in an upcoming Ultimate Guide. I'm currently working on an Ultimate Guide for page protectors, and I have this is Design A. I would really love to know if you guys would like several of these that you could print out for different designs, like a Design D, a Design E, maybe a Design C. Like, what are the most popular page protectors that you're using that you would like a planner page for? So I'll be using this. My goal for 2016, one of my big goals, is to really engage in our album and be more creative. If you guys are new to my channel, you may not know this, but in the last several years, I've been doing Project Life for 5 years now, and in the last several years, I have just set up my album for 2 to 3 months ahead of time. So I'll link a card right here where I talk about how I do that. But basically I would just set up like January, February, and March, and I would just use design A, and then I would get my pictures and I would drop them in and I wouldn't worry about it. Now that's great. It's kept me caught up. I love our albums from the last few years. There's nothing wrong with them. But this year I just am realizing I really want to engage more and be more creative within my album and maybe not always use design A. So I won't be setting it up for 2 to 3 months ahead. I will still set it up a month ahead of time because then I can always rearrange things when I'm doing it. I'm hoping to do more process videos with you guys and show you just my creative process and how I'm putting this together. So the very first thing you're looking at is my cover page, and I did something a little bit different. Instead of just using a design A, I am using a design S, and this is just because I really, again, wanted to be a little bit more creative. Right here will be a photo of my husband and I, and then right in these slots will be a photo of the kids, each individually. And I thought about using the girls as school photos in these slots, and then I would just take a picture of Andrew and put it there. So the other thing that happened is the very end of December, I really wasn't documenting and really trying to get pictures. I was really kind of burnt out from just everything. And so the last week of December, I didn't take any photos. They're not going to be in my the end of my December album, and they're not going to start this. So with this page protector, what would usually happen is I would have my cover page, I would open this up, and this would start week 1 of the brand new year. So with the first falling on a Friday, I would normally just have the end of December, and that would be my week 1. So that's not, I didn't do it this way. I did not do that way this year. Sorry, you guys. So over here, instead, what I'm going to do is take photos of the outside of our house. Now, I do this every year. At the beginning of the year, I snap a few photos of what the outside of our house looks like. And we do things, we change things, we work on things, we repair things, we change things around. And it's always nice to see a progression of how around our house looks and the way our house looks. We want to paint the house this year, so that will be interesting to see if we get to that this year. Next year, it could be a different color. So that's something to remember. My house that I grew up in with my grandma, they had this beautiful deck that was built, and it was like this multi-layered deck. It was a beautiful deck, and I remember playing on it when I was little, and we had so much fun on that. And recently I drove by their house that they sold is still here in our little town, and I drove by it last year sometime, and the people who live there now tore the deck down, and it was really sad to see that and to see the deck gone. But then it also reminded me of when I was really little before they had the deck and how the house looked. So it can really bring back memories when you take photos of the outside of where you live or your surroundings. So remember, that's a little tip to remember. So then the other thing that I'm doing this year is instead of having an 8.5 by 11 calendar like I normally do, I went ahead and I'm doing this size calendar, and this is just a 6 by 12 page protector, and then this is like a calendar page. It has 1 through 31 and then the days of the week, and I'm jotting things down this way, and then I can keep some memorabilia back here. I'm trying this out this year because I just felt like I don't know why I keep saying 5 by 7. The 8.5 by 11 calendar just wasn't working, and I felt like it was just a waste to have it there. So here you can see I jot down holidays. Kayla's birthday's this month. I had a friend that visited from out of town that's on there. So it's just, I don't write down every single thing, but I just jot down some of the more major things that happened during the month. This year I've decided on my title card, I found this one right here, and and then also this right here. Now on my website, all these items are linked. The only one that I purchased was this one, and I will have the link, but it was something that I purchased. But the rest of these items were free. So here we start January, and this is like basically the first and the second. And it kind of worked out the way what ended up happening is I just decided to do an extra photo of my friend's visit here, and then that way this would start the full week. So the way this works for me is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. It doesn't always work out perfectly, okay? So I'm not crazy about it having to be perfect. This does not have to be a Sunday photo, but I'm taking photos every single day, and when I'm going back and looking through my photos, it is easier for me to drop my photos in like that. If I have several photos for one day, it's fine. I either use it for the next day, or I don't, or I have an extra photo. That's just the way my mind works. I'm very chronological about the way I like things done. I have in the past just done like a week overview where I just print the photos for that week, and then wherever they go is wherever they go, and that's a good option as well. So I never want you guys to feel like you have to do what I'm doing or stressed out by what I'm doing. Pick whatever works for you and then just go ahead and do that. So right here, I did not have a photo for Thursday, but I have some receipts and a list that I made, and they went with my Wednesday, what I did on Wednesday. So I went ahead and stuck my receipts there, and when I do my page, I'll work these in to that, probably to that slot. So my idea and my goal this year is, even though you can see I've set up my page, I'm using the Seafoam core kit and the designer paper that matches. Those are both Project Life by Becky Higgins products. And I've set up, here's January, you know, week 1, week 2, here's week 3, week 4. Even though I've set that up, my goal is that when I get my photos and I go to drop them in here, that either I can use a different page protector if I want, or I can add to this product or take some away. I really want to be more creative, and I'll share that with you guys in some process videos. But this is just to give me an idea like what photos I have. I put a weather shot here, and let me just show you one of the things that I'm using this year to help with one of the things that I'm using that is really going to help me get more items into my album is the Becky Higgins app, the Project Life app, and I'm using the Collage part of this app. Now, I've talked about this before. You guys, if you do not get this app for any other reason than the Collage app, it's totally worth it. So what you do is after you have your photos, you take your photos, then you go into this Collage, the Collage part of the app, and these are 4x6 slots. So you can see 4x6, and then there's all these different ways to add different photos to the collage. I like using this, and you can see, let me find one on my photo in my camera roll. So right here, you can see I have a screenshot of the weather, and then I just paired it with a Project Life card. I saved it to my camera roll, and then I got this printed. So when my prints come, I'll have this 4x6 photo. I will cut this in half. I'll have a Project Life card. I just really added a design. I didn't even care. I just wanted it to be a 4x6 photo. So I just added a card. I'll just set that aside. But my screenshot of the weather will go right here. So that's why I have a post-it note that says weather shot. So this is one of the things that I'm hoping will allow me to add more photos and more of those kinds of items to my album. So you can see I've just used the sticky notes, and then I'm also using my running list. At the very beginning of the year when I got photos printed, I uploaded them last week. I went through my iPhone and I deleted most of my photos from 2015 off my phone. I made sure they were on my computer. I backed them up. I uploaded them to Snapfish. Once I knew they were backed up in 3 separate places, I went ahead and deleted them off my phone. So that, for one reason, that way you don't get confused. When I'm going back through and looking at my photos, I'm not like, oh wait, that was all the way back in December. Like, this gives me a fresh start. I kept a few on there. I think I kept around 50 on there, just of ones that I wanted on there or that I liked. But for the most part, I deleted them off my phone, so now I know. And I do that about every 6 months. So probably in summer, around, June or July, I'll go ahead and delete. I'll make sure everything's uploaded. You guys make sure that they're off your phone. They're backed up in 3 different places. And then that's when you can delete off your device. But that helps me to stay organized as well. So I hope that this has helped you guys to see sort of what I'm doing and how I'm approaching 2016. So far, I'm really happy with how it's going. I feel like I'm still not taking as many photos as I would like. I feel like I need to be taking more photos, and not out of pressure just to take them, but I'm feeling like I want to be remembering to pick up the camera and take more photos. So that's the only thing that I'm trying to really get back in the habit of doing, is taking more photos. But I'm liking the way this is set up. I don't have an album yet. You can see I'll get one of those in the next few weeks. I just haven't managed to do that yet. And then this is just always out. It's in my craft room and setting out. And you can see I just added these sticky notes at the end of the week. Last week, I just jotted down a couple notes and added them. And then I stuck my receipts in here because I realized I didn't have a photo. So that is my plan for 2016. Make sure you head over to my coordinating blog post so you can see some other people that I feel like have a really good plan and that I have found inspiration from, and hopefully that will help. And then let me know in the comments below, what is your plan for 2016? Do you have a plan? Are you trying to get a plan together? What are you struggling with? Is there something that you're struggling with to get a plan together? Because if you guys will leave me comments and let me know, I'm totally happy, so very happy to jump in and help you guys figure out what to do. Are you going back and like trying to do multiple albums where you're trying to catch up from past years to get caught up? Are you just working on 2016? Let me know. I would love to dive in and chat with you guys about it. So I'll be back next week with normal projects, cards, project life, all that good stuff. So thanks, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me to the very end of my video. I have 2 other Project Life videos for you here. They're both Project Life by Stampin' Up! Kits. One is called Happy Times, and then the other one is the brand new one that's in the Occasions catalog called Memories in the Making. I'll be back next week, guys, with all new projects. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.